Hey my people, it's your girl Too Blessed. I'm back with another one finally. I'm not going to apologize because I apologize at the beginning of every video. But unfortunately I'm back with the video that I'm not too happy to be doing today. I'm doing this video really by request of a couple people and maybe just to help clear up some confusion that some may have about what's going on today in this world. Before I start the video, if you like this hair, of course, this is Blessed to Slay hair. This is a wig I made. My stylist colored it and installed it, but this is just a little wig that I made. So if you like what you see, don't be afraid to reach out to me. You can even send me an instant message via Facebook. You can send me an email at mrssmith3010. And you can also visit my Facebook page at Blessed to Slay. Yeah, just Blessed. I think I changed. Did I change it? No, it's Blessed to Slay Hair Collection. I promise I know the name of my business. I promise I do. But anywho, as I stated before, a lot of people wanted to know my thoughts on this situation. I've been asked questions by not only white people, but also black people. We've been questioning each other, black people, about a lot of things that are going on here recently. And what I'm talking about is the issue of racism. I'm not calling out names of victims because to me, it's about more than just one person. It's the whole issue of racism. Excuse me. And I think that first and foremost, that needs to be understood. It's not about this one person who was killed by police officers. Yet, no, I'm sorry that happened to that person, but it's not just about that person is what I'm saying. We stand for that person, and he is definitely one of the reasons why this movement started. But that's not all this is about. I just want to clear that up. That's not all that this is about. This is a whole issue of racism. Then also, it's not all about cops. And I think that some people have that misconstrued. It's not all about cops. There are good cops. There are bad cops. This is about racism. As y'all can see, if you've been watching any of the news lately, a lot of cops have actually been joining protesters in the movement against racism. It's not about cops. I refuse to say that all cops are bad. Do I get nervous when I see a cop? Yes, unfortunately, because I've had a horrible run-in with a cop before. So yes, I get nervous when I see a cop. I get nervous when they pass me. I get nervous when I have to interact with them, but I cannot lump them all into one group because as many bad cops as I've seen, I've also seen many good cops as well. It's not all about police officers. This is about racism. You have to get down to the core, get past, that's the surface. The police officer issue to me is the surface of the issue. This is a deeper issue. This is about racism, deep-rooted, deep-seated racism. And I'm tired of it. Some people are shocked that this is still going on in 2020. I'm not shocked that this is still going on in 2020 because it never left. I find that a lot more white people are shocked that this is still going on than black people. Because if you're black, a lot of us, the majority of us at some point in time have experienced some type of prejudice or racism during our lifetime. If you've lived some form of life, you've experienced it. If you go out and about, you've experienced it. But I can't be mad at those white people who are just now realizing that this is still an issue because I'm happy that they're waking up. A lot of white people are waking up because of this thing. A lot of white people are saying, wait a minute, I had no idea, but what I can say is that I'm still annoyed by the white people who still choose to say that racism doesn't exist, to still say that it's not that bad, to still say that this is a one-off situation. Because what you don't know is that this is not a one-off situation. This is just one of the situations that's in the news. This is not a one-off situation. It's not. That'll be a different story to me if it's a one-off situation. But it's not a one-off situation. We live this thing every day. We live this thing every day. And I'm so tired. I'm so frustrated. I'm very frustrated. It took me a while to be able to make this video because I just can't find the words to articulate my feelings properly because I'm just so frustrated and I'm starting to get angry, and I don't want to have anger in my heart. Like I don't want to have anger in my heart because that's more detrimental to me than it is to the other people, to the people who are actually wrong. So I'm sorry, I thought I heard my husband calling me, but so I don't want to become angry. I don't, but I am. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. I don't even hate the people that are racist. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, they have enough hate for both me and them. So why do I need to carry that burden? Let them carry it. They have enough for me and them. That's how I feel. I can go on to live my life with a light heart. They can carry that heavy burden of hate if they want to. That's why I hate no one. I hate no one. As a matter of fact, I still pray for those people because that's a sad life to live, being a racist and having that much hate for someone else just because they're not the same color as you, just because they may be from a different country than you are. And then here's another thing about racism and all this. We didn't ask to be here. My ancestors did not ask to be in this stolen land. The thing about it is that, yes, we as Black people are still fighting for equality and against racism. But the thing about it is that this whole situation with African Americans being in America, that's a slap in the face to white people, because what you did was you went and got my ancestors and you brought them over here to the land that you stole. So let's get this clear. This is not your land, white people. This is not your land. Nobody's in your country. I hate when they say that. You're in my country, blah, blah, blah. No one's in your country. This is not your land. Let's get that clear. This is not your land. This was a stolen land, and we didn't ask to be here, but we built this land for free. And now we got to fight to live, basically. We built this land, and now we have to fight to live on this land. That's silly to me. But it's a slap in the white people's face, because this thing didn't turn out quite like how they thought it was going to turn out when they went and got us. They didn't know that we'll be able to own houses and we'll own land our own selves and we'll have a Black president one day. They had no idea. So that's a slap in their face too. But I'm tired. I'm tired of, as a Black woman, having to explain myself or feeling like I seen a post. Sorry guys, that's the baby casing. I seen a post on Facebook that a woman made, and she said that when she walks into a room, she immediately has to like crack jokes, smile, and to disarm people because she's a Black woman. That's what I'm tired of. You don't have to understand me, but you can respect me. Why are we always deemed as aggressive? My people are strong. We were made strong. We were made strong. And white people, honest to God, helped make us strong because we became very strong. We were already strong, but we became 10 times stronger through slavery. So thanks, white people. You're part of the reason why we're so passionate and we could be labeled aggressive. No, that's not aggressive. That's passion. When we care about something, when we have a goal, when we're doing something, we become passionate, and then we get called aggressive. When we speak our minds, we're called aggressive because of the tone of our voice. That frustrates me like to no end, because I get so sick and tired of having to change the way I speak in order for you to feel comfortable. That irritates me. Like, why can't you take me for who I am, face value? Why do I have to speak your language? Really? Because that's what we're doing. We're speaking your language in order for you to be comfortable. That's why I say it's okay to see color. It's okay to notice cultural differences, because there are cultural differences. That makes it fun. That makes the world more colorful to me. Black people, we have our own language. That's awesome to me. I don't see a problem with that. I don't understand why we have to sound like white people, why we have to talk like white people in order to be successful or to be deemed as a decent human being. Why? Because we make you comfortable? That doesn't make any sense to me. Certain things I think white people will never understand. Even the ones that's joining us in this fight against racism, there are certain things that they will still never understand. Some of them know that there is a lot of things that they will never understand. Some of them know that, but they just know that they understand that it's racism, so they're going to stand and they're going to fight because they don't like the racism. But there are a lot of things, unless you are a black person in America, you will never know. I know people and I have friends that still don't believe that racism is that prominent. And it frustrates me to no end. And these are white people I'm talking about, white friends. It frustrates me to no end because it's like a slap in my face because I know what I go through on a day-to-day basis. I know how me and my family have to live on a day-to-day basis in order to stay alive and be successful in America. I know what me and my family have to do every single day. So to say that these things doesn't exist pisses me off very bad. It exists, and it's okay for you to see that it exists. It's like people want to live in this bubble where everything's roses and everybody's holding hands and hugging. That is the perfect world. It sounds beautiful, but that is not it. That is not where we live. You can live in your small town or wherever you are and think that the outside world is that way. But that is not reality. That's not reality. The reality is a lot of black people are still struggling to be deemed as a functional part of society. A contribution to society, to not be labeled as ghetto, aggressive. Y'all know what I'm talking about, thugs. People who just want to leech off the system. First and foremost, why do we have to prove that we're not on the system, that we're not leeching off the system? Why is that something we have to prove? White people get assistance. Actually just as much as black people, but all you see and all you hear about is the black people that's on assistance. And then I read a post a man made talking about because white people don't make it a career, they don't make it a way of life, they don't stay on it for a lifetime. 1 second. They don't stay on it for a lifetime. First and foremost, how would you know? How would you know? I know plenty of white people on assistance. Or I should say, not that I know of plenty of white people that are on assistance, have been on assistance. What my people know is survival. And that survival gets misconstrued. Some black people, they grow up and all they know how to do is survive. They don't know. I'm going to put it like this. They do what they know how to do. So if this is for some people, not everybody, but if you were raised to where your whole family was on government assistance and that's what y'all do, that y'all know how to make a way of life off of public assistance, off of government assistance, that's what you do. It's survival. They're doing what they know. They're doing what they're taught. They're not trying to leech. They're doing what they're taught. They don't know another way of life. Because the black struggle is a lot different from the white struggle. For those for the white people who do struggle, our struggles are two totally different struggles. And I'm gonna tell you, I've talked on this channel about racism. I've talked about how I've had experience at Miami University with racism. And I've talked about the incident that me and my husband had with the racist cop. But what I didn't tell you guys was the hurt behind it. We as Black people, we encounter these things so much that at some point it kind of loses its sting. But it's still very hurtful. So when we talk about it, we don't have that sting to it, because for us, it's like another racist bastard. But in all honesty, there's still a level of hurt to it. It's hurtful when you get accepted into a university. And don't get me wrong, I know one of the main reasons I was accepted into a school such as Miami University, and this is in Oxford, Ohio. It's a very prestigious and great school. But I know one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, that I was accepted into Miami University is because I was Black. So when you walk into a classroom and you are the only Black girl in that classroom, then you get split up into a group of all white girls and you're the only Black person in that group. And they give they select a team captain or a team leader. And that leader begins to give instructions and go over the game plan for the project that you're about to do. And then when they start talking about if you need any help, and they look you dead in your face, the only Black girl in the group, because they think you're that much of an idiot, that they know that you'll need help, that's hurtful. Then when you do your assignment and you submit it to the team for them to take a look, and they submit it back to you, the captain submits it back to you and has basically rewritten your whole essay, that's hurtful. That's hurtful. And it's not because you're a poor writer. They don't trust your information. They want it to sound exactly how they want it to sound. And that's it. I told y'all about that situation, but now y'all get to hear the hurt behind the situation. I could have went off. I could have flew off. I could have made it a big deal. But instead, I kept quiet and let them make those changes. Then when it came to the presentation, and it was my turn to give well, it wasn't even my turn. It was our team's turn to give our presentation. And we all had our topics and our lessons, our part of the assignment. I had to speak because my team didn't know about my portion. And when I say they were so shocked at how well I had done and how the whole classroom told me that I did a good job, which I don't know why I was told that, because what else would you expect? If a white girl had delivered that same presentation, would she have been told that over and over again? But the look on my team's face, especially my team captain, when you could feel them staring at you in awe because you actually have knowledge, because you're actually smart, that's hurtful. These are the things that we go through. These are the things that we experience that no one else, unless you're in our shoes, would ever know what we're talking about. And it was probably plenty of white girls in there who, oh, she's a Black girl, we're all equal, who cares? And never even thought twice about it, had no clue what I really felt and what happened to me during that experience. They will never have any clue. These are the things that we're talking about. I'm tired of trying to change myself to make another person feel comfortable. Why do we have to walk into a room and disarm people? Because the wall goes up immediately because of the color of our skin. How can I tell my boys, this is a thought that I've been turning over and over in my head. How can I raise my boys and tell my boys that they are Black kings and put them all the way up here, but then turn around and tell them when it comes to a white cop, you shut your mouth and do as you're told. But you're a Black king, but you shut your mouth with that white cop and do as you told. I don't care what he does to you. I don't care what he says to you, because I need you to be able to come back home. That don't even make sense. I shouldn't have to worry when my husband leave the house. I shouldn't have to worry about if he's going to get pulled over that day and what that interaction will be like. Or I shouldn't have to have a sigh of relief when he walks back through the door. How many other white people do that? How many white people have that same concern? If you don't live this, you don't know. Then I know this. How long have I been on here? 20 minutes already? I'm sorry. It's going to be a long video. I don't care. If you don't watch it, you don't watch it. But I got to get this out. But then, sorry. Someone messaged me something. But then I read a post on Facebook. A man said, we don't see all this energy when blacks kill other blacks. I don't see anything like this going through my timeline. My timeline's dry when blacks kill other blacks. First and foremost, your timeline might be dry because I don't know who your friends are on Facebook. I don't know how many friends you have that are black. But my timeline is always filled with this has to stop. Black on black crime has to stop. We have to do something. There are plenty of movements that go on in regards to black on black crime. So let me clear that up first and foremost. Talk about what you know. You have no idea. There are certain things that you're not privy to. So if you don't know what you're talking about, you might as well shut up and stay out of it, because you have no idea what's really going on. Because there are plenty of people, there are plenty of leaders who have movements just for that very cause. We have to stop killing each other. Also, black people are not the only people who kill each other. Every race kills each other. Now, you could be silly and let the media play with your head, and because they're going to portray what they want to portray, they'll make it like we're killing each other left and right, but they're not showing all the other races killing each other just as much. Because it seems like they always want us to be the animals. They always want us to be the savages. All the time. So whenever something goes wrong in the black community, of course, that's going to be top-notch headline news. But talk about what you know. You have no clue about that. So talk what you know. Second of all, in response to that, we don't have to have a whole movement like this. Because 9 times out of 10, the cops are already on it, and that person is already in jail. The cops are more than happy to put a black person in jail. So 9 times out of 10, they're not getting away with it. Justice is being served already. There's nothing for us to do. There's nothing for us to riot about. Talk about what you know. Talk about what you know. You don't know what you're talking about. Talk about what you know. Please, white people, do not tell black people what to focus on, because you have no clue. You do not know. And I try to give white people passes as much as possible. I really and truly do. I try to give white people passes as much as possible because they don't know what they don't know. But certain things just grind my gears. You cannot tell a race of people what they should be focused on unless you're in that race and know what they're going through and know the inside. Don't speak on it. Talk what you know. That made me very livid. I was pissed. When a black man kills another black man, 9 times out of 10, that black man is in jail. Justice is served. And if he's not in jail, trust and believe the police is on it. Like white on rice, because they don't mind putting a black man in jail. I'm tired. I'm tired of all these racist posts that all these white people keep posting and talking about how Floyd deserved to die, and because he wasn't innocent, and he committed a crime, he shouldn't have committed a crime. What does that have to do with a man dying? Why are we considered animals? Why do y'all call us animals? Because of the rioting and the looting. But then you try to say you're not racist, but we're behaving like animals. Then when it catches up to you, when they lose their job, when they get kicked out of their schools, when it becomes known that they said what they've said, that they're racist, and their lives become impacted, then we get these BS apologies. Please keep the apology. You're only apologizing because your life is ruined. You're not apologizing because you're truly sorry. You told how you felt and you said what you said the first time. Please know that Black people do not accept those apologies. I hope that y'all know that. Black people do not accept those apologies. Those apologies are BS, and they're strictly for image. And they always have the same form. What I said is unacceptable. I'm very sorry. It's not okay for me to say those things. It's not okay for me to feel that way. And I truly apologize. I'm deeply sorry. And I just hope that everyone, can find in their hearts to forgive me and move on past this. I've definitely learned a lesson. And that is just not okay. That's always the apology. Always. One thing Black people are not, which white people have a hard time grasping, is that Black people are not stupid. You may not understand some of the slang. You may not understand the twang in our voice, but we're not stupid. We're far from stupid. Far from stupid. Please, let's get that clear. But certain things you will never understand unless you were a Black person. And we, as Black people, are tired. I'm tired. I just want to live my life freely, be me. I want to be able to raise my boys and not have to worry about if they're going to come home, if my husband's going to come home, to not have to worry about them getting pulled over for a speeding ticket or for running a red light, because their interaction is much different than a white person's interaction. That simple mistake, that one simple mistake, can be the end of their life. Sometimes they don't even have to make a mistake. Sometimes they could just look like something to the police officer that's having a bad day. I'm tired. I can't sit by and be idle. I come from a long line of warriors. I have a family full of warriors. My grandfather was a Black Panther in Oakland, California, in the thick of it. At the root of it, at the core of it. I come from a long line of warriors. I cannot sit by and be idle. And many of you who are friends with me on Facebook, you all know what I'm doing. Y'all see what I'm doing, and many of you are participating in what I'm doing. And I'll share what I'm doing after tomorrow. I don't want to make it public right now. But I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for my tears, because this is sad. This is sad. All we want to do is live. And for some reason, that's too much. For some reason, that's too much. That's too big of a request. Until you can walk in our shoes, you have no idea. And to all the white people and all the other races, because it's not just white people, it's all kind of other races that have joined this fight with us. I appreciate you and I love you all the same. And I thank you for being brave enough to step up and go against the grain, because it takes a lot for you all to step up too and go against your own race in that sense. So I thank you for doing what's right. But technically, this isn't even our fight. Black people, technically, this isn't even our fight. This is supposed to be a fight for the white people. We shouldn't have to fight for this. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I've talked long enough. I'll come back and do another video in a couple days. In the meantime, in between time, y'all be safe. Remember that you are perfectly imperfect and that you are highly favored. And I pray that everyone just stays safe. Okay. I love y'all so much. Bye.